Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the Happy Snowflake. I think it's super adorable. The front side, the little face of course, or even the back side looks awesome, where you could leave the face off, and so many options. It's just too cute. So band wise, it's 310 is what I used for this. You could divide it up by changing like the colors of the little fractals on the snowflake, and then these could be changed different colors. It's kind of up to you. To leave the face off, like I said, or put it on, but I just think it's super adorable. I think you could even poke like one of the smaller Christmas lights up through the center, come out like where the little nose would be for on your tree. So cute. We do make the outside larger pieces ahead of time. I'm going to show you how to make one of them, and then you'll just pause the video and rewind it to get back to the point to make these again if you need to. The middle portion here we do make together, just because of how it's put together. So we won't do those ahead of time. We also don't need to make the face parts ahead of time because of how it's made on the loom. So we'll get started. So for the outside big pieces, they look like this when they're completed, kind of like little pieces of grass or a little tree. And it'll take a little while because they are double banded and just kind of using the loom. So what we do is we kind of start down here at this point and then work up to the end up here. But we need to, because of how we make it on our hook, we have to make kind of the little pieces that come off one side, put those on the hook first, and then we kind of make the center, and then we pull them, make another half and pull them together, and so hopefully it all kind of makes sense as we go along. So first we're going to be making these little pieces that go along the side. So we're going to start with the 6th one, because that one will come on second when we put it all together. So it's just a band on the hook, double it, grab up both bands, double it again, and then pull through 5 doubled bands. So put it on the hook, double it, and pull it through. Back on. So I usually count the cap band as 1, so then I have 2, and we add 4 more. Total of 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So cap band plus 5. Then you'll take this piece and just kind of slide it up your hook. Then we're going to make another one that is only cap band plus 2. So put your cap band, or the band on for your cap band, and then double it, pull through 2 double bands. So here's 1 and 2. So like that. Cap band plus 2. And you'll slide this one up your hook. So I made the ones for one side. So now we're going to come to the center, and these are 2 bands on the hook, double it, grab all bands, double it again. Then we're going to pull through 2 bands that are doubled. So 2 bands, double them, pull them just through that big cap band we just made. Back on the hook. 2 more bands through, doubled. So cap band plus 2. And now I just kind of squish that up a little bit. And then we're going to make another little 3-piece one. So 1 band, double it again, and then pull through 2 bands just through that piece we just put on. So here's 1, and 2. So that's what you have in your hook right now. So we have this little piece, this kind of short piece that is double bands, and then we're going to pull over that first 3-piece that we made, like that. Then you want to take 2 bands, double them on the end of your hook, and it's kind of squishy, so 2 bands, double one on your hook, and then pull it through all of this. The little short one, the thick short one, and then the last short one. Get it all the way through and back on. Like that. Then we're going to take 2 bands, pull them through, doubled. So double it, pull it through. 2 more bands doubled, pulled through. Like that. Now we're going to make another 6 chain, or 6 doubled chain. So here's 1 with the cap band, and pull through 5 more doubled single bands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, 5 single bands, so total of 6 with the cap band. So cap band plus 5. Like that. So then once again we slide the other piece down, and we're going to pull through 2 bands doubled. Just kind of squish it all up there. 2 bands, double them, pull them through everything on your hook. Both ends back on. Then 2 bands doubled, pull them through, back on, and now 2 bands, you're just going to pull them straight through. Get it centered in there, and then you can take your hook out and it'll stay put for putting on the loom in a little while. So hopefully that isn't too hard to make. It's just the doubling of bands that kind of gets repetitive, and it took me about maybe 5 or 6 minutes to make one slower, but once you get it then you go pretty fast. I'm sorry, but I still have glue on my fingers. I thought I got it all off, but I was working on something earlier, so that's what that is. It's glue. So you need to make 6 of those. So you want to pause the video, make those, and then come back. The rest of it's fairly simple. Hopefully it's just a matter of putting it all together. So once you have those, we'll go to our loom. You'll have the wrong end towards you, and we're only working on 6 pins around in our hexagon shape. So what you're going to want now is the bands for your cheeks. If you're going to use bands for your eyes, you'll want those. Or if you're going to use beads for your eyes, you'll want those. And then a little tool to put the eyes on, which is eluding me right now if you are going to use the beads. So I might use bands. And then you also want your mouth band. Haha, I found it. This is your little tool if you're going to use beads. So, working on the 6 pins, this pin right here on the bottom, you're going to take your mouth band and you're going to put it on the pin and wrap it around 1 time. So just cross it and wrap it around. Like that. And then on the next pins up right here, you're going to put your cheek bands. So this is 1 band, whatever color you want the cheek to be. Put it on the pin, wrap it around 1 time, and then you have to grab both those bands and wrap them around the pin again. If you can't do it with your fingers, use your hook. Works pretty well that way. 2, but then it ends up being looking like 4 bands on the pin. And you do that on both sides. Like that. Now if you don't have beads, and these are the smaller 7mm beads, if you don't have any beads, you'll use the next pins up to put your eyes on. They would be put on exactly the same as the cheeks. You put the band on, double it, grab it, or grab both bands, and then double it again. And you do that on both sides. I'm going to use the beads on mine just so you know how to do that as well, but if you don't have the beads, put the bands on these 2 pins for the eyes. So then once you have that, what we're going to do is put a starburst on these 6 pins. Everything's double banded unless I say differently, so starting from kind of the center pin to go out to the 6 pins around. Like that. Center pin is going to get a cap band, but there'll be 2 bands wrapped around 3 times. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then what you're going to do is go in through that center cap band, grab the top 2 bands, wherever they are, pull them up through the center and out towards the outside. And then you go around and do that for the rest of the bands. Grab the top 2, pull them out. Like that. Now, if you have, well, your mouth, just grab that band, pull it up over the top. Grab your cheeks, pull those up over the top of the pin. Do the same thing over on the other cheek. Like that. You'll also pull your eyes over if you use the bands, so make sure you pull your eyes over. If you did not use bands, it's a little tricky, but you'll want your piece of either craft wire, string, thread, or floss or something that you can put into a V shape. And you're going to put it up through all 4 bands of the starburst here on that eye pin band. Put them through there, take your bead, thread it down, and then I'm going to pull the bands off the pin and then slide the bead down onto the bands. Then once I've gotten to there, grab the bands, find that center, and then put that back onto the pin. And then you can slide out your tool. Ah, there's so much glue! That Eileen's craft glue. It's like it gives you a second skin. So then you can do that on the other side as well. Got my bead down, pull those bands off, slide the bead down, find the center of those bands, back onto the pin, and then pull out your tool. So it would be much easier if you use the bands, but I like how the beads look, so. So now our face is on there. Now we're going to do a row around. It'll be 2 bands around the outside. Like that. Then you'll flip the bottom 4 all the way around. push everything down. So now we're going to do our row around that has the smaller crystal-like things on it. So to do that, we're going to just start in one spot and work our way around. And first what you have to do is, it's a band, or it's all double banded right here, so single bands, double banded. So double a band on, pull through one band through that one, like that. Double another band into a cap band, pull through two, through that cap band we just doubled. So one and two, and then we're going to do another double band, cap band, and pull through one double band through that portion. Like that. So once we're there, the first one, we're just going to pull a band all the way through it, but then we end up having to kind of change how we do the rest of them. So that's why we only could do one at a time. So you'll take a band, put it through, put it on your hook, double it, pull it through everything on your hook, put it back on. So you kind of end up with a little hand looking thing, I guess, like this. So first one that we do, we're going to take two bands, pull them through one half, or just two of the first two bands on our hook, pull it through, and you can take your hook out of that portion, and then take another two bands, pull them through the second half, like that. So we're going to put this on the loom. So start by first grabbing one side, the two bands that we pulled through, put it onto the loom, and then you have the second half over here. If you kind of take this piece and put it towards the inside, like that, then you want to take the two bands that are left, and they'll start on this center pin, overlapping the other band we put on already, and then going on to the next pin over. So that's what the first one looks like. It's pointed towards the inside, and we have two bands through each half of it. Now, for the next part, we need to make our little pieces. So our double band with one band pulled through, and another double band with two bands pulled through. So that's one and two, and then another doubled band with one band pulled through. So you end up again with that. Take your next band, double it, pull it through everything, back on the hook. So we have our little hand looking thing again. And now what you're going to do is take two bands, pull them through half, again like before, and then take your hook out. And now we have this. Now, so these connect nicely around this portion, we're actually going to take the part that's on our hook. You're going to go and grab those two bands that went through that last piece over here. Hook it with your hook, pull it off the pin, then slide it through that piece on our hook and then put it back onto the pin where it was. Like that. Then we just kind of turn the loom a little bit. We grab that piece we pulled through with those 2 bands, and that will go in the next spot up over here on the side. So see, I couldn't have you do it ahead of time because there's no way I could connect these. It'd be like one big piece to make, and then you'd have to try and connect it all together. So that's why we're doing it together. So this is probably the longest portion we'll spend together, although it'll take you a while for the larger snowflake pieces. So once again, we need to make that little hand piece looking thing. Double band, pull 1 band through. But I mean, after this portion, it's pretty quick. So there's our first part. Double another band, pull through 2 more. And 2. Then another double band. And pull through 1. Like that. Then another band, doubled, pulled through everything. Like that. We're going to do the same thing, pull 2 bands through that first 2 bands. Take our hook out, and then we have our band through that other, our hook through the other 2 bands. Go back to the loom, go up to that next pin around that we're working on, grab those top 2 bands, pull them through what's on your hook, and then put them back onto the pin. So once again, we have half of it on the band that was already on the loom, and we have the 2 bands that are hanging loose. So we can grab those loose ones, kind of tucking that little snowflake portion towards the inside. So then you grab those 2 bands and you put those on the loom. Like that. And we'll do another one. Same thing. Make your little hand portion thing. Double band. Pull 1 band through. Double band. Pull 2 bands through. There's 1. And 2. Then another double band. And pull 1 through. There's the little finger portion. Another single band, doubled. Pulled through everything. Back on the hook. And pull 2 bands through that first portion. Take your hook out. And then take your hook and grab that last 2 bands we worked on the loom. Lift them up. Pull your piece down over it. And put the bands back on the loom. And once again, put the other half onto the loom. Like that. Turn it again. So we're almost done, not too far, another couple of the little pieces. But before we go any further here, I'm going to pick up these 2 bands that are on this pin. They're connected to that first one that we made. I'm going to pick those up and move them back a pin, like that. And just leave it there for now. So we'll make our next one, do our double band with the 1 band pulled through. And double band with the 2 bands pulled through. There's 1 and 2. And then another double band with 1 band pulled through. I know you're thinking, why didn't I just put those in the center? But then it all kind of lines up and it's not quite as pretty. So these are offset the way we're putting them on right now. So you have your little fingers, and take your next band, double it, pull it through everything, back on the hook. And again, you'll take your 2 bands, pull them through the first half, take your hook out, and go to your loom, starting back here at that last band we put on, or last 2 bands we put on. Lift them up, slide that half down again, put it on the loom, and then twist it around and put on your last 2 bands here. So it looks like that for now. With the last one on there, and then we have that band that we pulled aside. So we need to make our last little bunch of fingers on the hook. Double, pull the 1 band through, and double another band, and pull through 2 double bands. That's 1 and 2, and then another double band, and you pull 1 through. So there's the finger portion. And take another band, double it, and pull it through everything. So now, we technically already have the bands on the loom for all the way around, so that's why we kind of move these out of the way. So if you just want to kind of take the loom in whichever way is comfortable for you. And I'm going to start with this band over here that we pulled to the side. Actually, no. We'll start with the one that's already on the trail. That would be better. Start with this one over here. Grab the top 2 bands from where we finished off. Pull through that first half of the snowflake. And then put those bands back onto that pin. Like that. So now our hook is still through half of the snowflake piece, and the other half is on the loom already. So once you're there, you'll grab that those bands we pulled to the side, lift those up, pull them through the other half that's on your hook, and then you'll put that back on to the pin where it should be in the hexagon pattern. Voila! So we finally have it all the way around. All the little pieces are kind of pointed towards the inside right now. You should have 8 bands on each pin. So once you're there, then you can flip the bottom 4 bands over the top of the pin. That was the hardest, or kind of most tedious, hardest part, I think. Just getting those on there. Push your bands down. And now, you'll want all those giant snowflake pieces that you made, and you're just going to grab those 2 bands that you pulled through at the end and put those onto the loom all the way around. And you can kind of push those pieces towards the center. They're going to kind of be in the way, but we don't really have any or much left to do after we get these on. So just kind of go around, find those end pieces and put them on. We've only had a very light dusting of snow so far this year, but it's been really cold already, so that's no good. Because I would take snow over really cold temperatures any day. Just because it snows doesn't mean that it's that cold. It could be right at 32 degrees, and that's not so bad when the possibility of 30 below weather is very much a reality here where I live. And throw in wind chill. Yeah, it's cold. Alright, so they're all on there. They're going to kind of be pokey and in your way. But just need to kind of look at each one individually. Each pin individually as you go around. Find those bottom 4 bands and flip them up over the top 4. All the way around. Just make sure you got them all. And you want to push that down. Push all the bands that are on your pins down. And we want to do one more row all the way around our entire piece, just with 2 bands. You kind of have to wedge them under there and move your pieces of your snowflake around, and just so you can get them on there. Go on the pin. There you go. There we go. All the way around with a row. Flip your bottom 4. Once you get that done, you want to go around, push all your bands down as far as they'll go. Then take your hook, go in through the center here, grab that cap band, and pull up your face. Just kind of unhook it from the pin. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just so it's unhooked from that center pin. Because now we're ready to take this and close it. So we're just going to go around, grab the pins, and grab the bands off the pins on all 6 pins. You can kind of start anywhere you want to. Just going to grab my hook through, grab those bands, and then just kind of work my way around, pushing the snowflake kind of towards the center as I come around with my hook. Stay close to the snowflake. So you don't pull it off before you get all the way around. And once you have everything on, you want to take 2 bands and pull them through everything on your hook. That's a first. Usually whenever I come through on this way, the 6 pin, I always end up pulling extra bands. So get both ends on, pull the far ones through to make a slip knot, pull it nice and tight. Then you want to hide your tail, come up through the side somewhere, just pull the tail down in. Or you could even take that tail and instead of hiding it in there, come in through the side at the top, take your tail and pull it out through so then you can use it as like an ornament. I'm just going to hide mine. You can also slip knot a band in or even put an actual Christmas hook into the snowflake to make it an ornament if you want to do that. So once you have that, it's just a matter of kind of coming around and adjusting any bands like around the face particularly. Like with the, if you kind of look at it, it's kind of a pointed all over the place or pointed down, whereas this one I made it fairly straight. It's only just a matter of going, turning it over, and you can use your hook or your fingers, but you want to grab that bottom band, the bottom doubled band that goes through the bands that went around. Grab those and just twist them on the bands that went around, and that will change the position so they're pointed wherever you want them to be. I'll use my hook to show you too. Just put them through those double bands on the bottom and just kind of twist them around, and that will change where they're pointing. Like that. And you can do the same thing with the ones on the ends here too. You can adjust how those are pointed by just kind of pulling them one way or the other. The face looks pretty good except for the mouth is a little crazy, so I'll fix that. Just putting my hook up through the back side and grabbing the band and pulling it a little tighter. I'll pull my cheeks out. Pop the eyes forward. There. Beautiful Happy Snowflake. I think it looked fabulous using clear bands too, but that's really hard to do in a tutorial, so unless I change my background, and I like the bright white. So, but I hope that you enjoy this. I think that it's pretty adorable when it's done. I really like this colored one too. This was the like glow in the dark blue that was at Michael's a while ago, and I think it was online too on loom.com. And this is just like an ocean, no, not ocean jelly, it's just blue, I think, jelly band. I think they're super adorable. They're very pretty. You can make some great colors, white, clear, do some rainbow ones, it'd be awesome. But if you make some of these, you'll definitely have to share them with me, especially if you put them up somewhere like your Christmas tree or for decorations or something. You can do that on my Instagram, which is at Crafting Fantastic, or on my Facebook page, which is feelinspiffy or Crafting Fantastic. I do have a Twitter too. It's at feelin_spiffy. I don't use it a whole lot besides just announcing tutorials, but that's there too. I'm around, trying to let you know that there's many places you can find me. I think there's even a Google+. I mean, there's all these social medias that'll let you know where I am and what I'm doing. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And It's been harder lately with having a lot of my tutorials stolen and things like that, and just time and the amount of family things that have been going on lately. My son even broke his foot again. There. That's just broke his toe this time. There's his old break last year or so. So I'm like, stop breaking your foot. So it's been busy around here, and then the holidays, and oh, it's crazy. But I hope that you guys are having an enjoyable time, and I will definitely have more things for you soon. Thank you, and Loom on.